Hi everyone, welcome back to my aggressively niche channel. Today we'll be talking about some recent pickups. As I did in my previous video, I'm going to go from the ground up. Socks, shoes, pants, top, and an accessory. I'll share a bit about each piece, but more importantly, why I bought it. One thing I think about a lot is the difference between collecting clothes and simply consuming them. If you watch these videos of mine without context, you might reasonably, albeit incorrectly, conclude that I'm constantly just buying things, and I don't think that's actually true. But it did make me wonder how my wardrobe compares to an average person's. So according to a quick Google search, which may or may not be reliable, the average American wardrobe consists of between 100 and 150 pieces, excluding underwear and socks. I track my wardrobe. I have now for about coming up on a year maybe. I track my wardrobe using an app called Indyx. They're not a sponsor, although Indyx, if you're somehow watching this, please give me a call in the old telly or shoot me an email. And I currently have a little over 160 items, and that includes socks because I catalog those as well. For this being a hobby and something that I like to believe I take rather seriously, I don't think that's too bad. Anyway, enough justification. Let's get started. So the first item on today's list is a pair of socks from Anonymous Ism. I ordered them from Millworks on March 15th. So I've had them now for a few months. They're made up of a combination of materials. It's 51% cotton, 35% acrylic, 7% polyester, 6% nylon, and 1% spandex. The vast majority of my wardrobe is made from all natural fibers or a natural fiber blend. For socks and underwear though, I'm willing to make an exception. I think there's reasons why in those cases having human-made materials might make sense, hence the exception. What caught my eye about this particular pair was the pattern. Hopefully it's showing on screen. I like that they've got tan, brown, and gray running through them, and those are colors that fit naturally into the rest of my wardrobe, and I knew that it would work well with what I wear most of the time. And as it turns out, they pair, I think, very nicely with the next item that I'm going to turn to. So these shoes that I'll be showing you in just a second, not to keep you in suspense or anything, have been on my wish list for quite a long time. I don't know if any of y'all do this as well, but I like setting little challenges for myself before making certain purchases. It's a way of making sure I really want something, and then it also makes me feel like I've somehow earned it. So for these shoes, I told myself that I needed to run 100 miles before I could buy them. And that's not actually an insane number, especially for any of you runners out there. During the pandemic, I could run that many miles and then some in a month. Unfortunately, I've been running a bit less in recent months, so it ended up taking me just about 4 months to reach that goal. Now, I should confess something. I technically broke my own rule. These Lemaire Piped Crepe Slippers in this brown dropped to a single pair in my size from Kith, where I had been keeping my eye on them. So naturally, panic set in. So I ordered them when I was only halfway to my running goal. But I told myself I couldn't wear them until I completed that goal, that many miles. So I'm choosing to count that as a compromise. And I hit that milestone yesterday. I was at 100.95 miles. So now I can finally wear them. And now I'm going to move on to pants. And it'll be my first piece from A.Presse. I'm pretty sure that's the American pronunciation. There's this gentleman on YouTube, I'm forgetting his name, that I think lives in Japan and speaks Japanese, and I believe he said it's pronounced A.Presse, but I'm gonna go with A.Presse because it's the way I've heard a few creators talk about it. So this piece that you'll see shortly was definitely a splurge, but the moment I saw them, I knew or more precisely my wallet, was in trouble. Maxfield, I believe it's Maxfield LA, actually teased them on their website before they were available. There wasn't a clear release date on the website, like some stockists will say like coming Sunday 6 p.m. or something like that. There was nothing like that, so I emailed them and they were kind enough to let me know when they finally dropped. The second I got that email, I ordered my pair. Judging by how quickly they disappeared, I wasn't the only one waiting. I don't think they even ever made it to like their stories where they were saying what's new in from the brand. And so what drew me to them? Honestly, a little bit of everything, which I'll run through. So first, the color. If you've watched this channel for any length of time, you know I love brown. In fact, I have a few more brown pieces coming up in a future video, so please make sure you're subscribed if you don't want to miss those. Second, the silhouette. I've been gravitating towards roomier fits lately, and it's funny, I didn't do it because it's trendy, although apparently that's the case. I genuinely don't care about that. It started for me because I fell in love with a particular cut of raw denim from a well-known Japanese brand. Any guesses? Please leave them in the comments. Unfortunately, I haven't seen them release their latest jeans in that particular cut, so I actually proposed starting a petition on Instagram to see if they could make another batch of that particular cut. So the military inspiration of this particular garment appealed to me too. These are based on the French M-47 trousers from the 1950s. Now, I'm always a little wary of appropriating military aesthetics without appreciating where they come from. Through my research, I've spent time speaking with veterans, and that has given me a deeper appreciation for military garments and the people behind them. And then there's the fabric. Herringbone is one of my favorite weaves. These are made from a slubby cotton herringbone twill that gives them a textured, slightly irregular vintage appearance without feeling costumey. And finally, they're unlike anything that I own. They're cut with a generous silhouette through the hips and thighs before gradually tapering toward the hem. The cargo pockets are slightly enlarged, and the brown version is garment dyed, which gives it a richness that feels almost lived in from day one. They're 100% cotton, made in Japan, and finished with custom tack buttons. At this point, rather than me continue to talk about them, let's open them and take a closer look. Today, as you can tell from the title of this video, we have an unboxing, one that I've been looking forward to for quite a long time. Well, not the unboxing itself, because the package just arrived today. Luckily I was home. The FedEx driver rang the doorbell and I actually heard it and ran downstairs. Maybe a little embarrassing to admit, but I was pretty excited. The signature was required, so I'm glad that was all sorted out. Yeah, if you're new here, my name is Saul. I'm a grad student, not writing a dissertation on clothing, although I suppose at this point I might as well be doing that, as it's one of my hobbies or interest. Anyway, enough yapping, so we're going to unbox it now. This is my little knife from Benchmade. I've had it for a few years and I don't carry it with me. It's basically just a glorified box opener. So I should say I've been looking forward to this piece for, I would say, at least a couple weeks. I got it from Maxfield, LA, and they posted it on their website as coming soon a couple weeks ago, and I kept checking periodically every few days because there was not an option to sign up for notifications whenever it launched. And I also followed them on Instagram, and they continue to post like latest releases, but this particular piece wasn't ever there, and I really didn't want to miss that. It's from a brand that I don't own anything from until now, that I wanted to add to my collection. So I consider myself a minimalist, although this particular series in my channel might have the minimalist police coming from me. But for me, minimalism, at least in part, refers to just being very intentional about my purchases. So I don't intend to, buy 10 of these for redundancy. It's very nice packaging, which it's kind of funny because some people yeah, you don't really care about the packaging, and I mean, I'm always tempted to keep the sometimes even the outer box when it says like the name of the brand or something, but eventually I get myself to let it go. I think it probably comes from my days of being a tech nerd and keeping those iPhone boxes and so forth. But yeah, I would like to believe that I don't care about the packaging, but I think it is important. There's something about the presentation of things. It's like if you bought a pair of, anything and it just came raw without a box, yeah, that would diminish the experience, I think. But anyway, hello, if you fast forwarded to this point, hopefully I'll leave stamps below if I can figure that out on YouTube for those of you who are just here for the actual unboxing. But it's a very nice black box. So I like to use this knife because I otherwise never use it, but at the same time I don't want to cut what's inside. Okay, so it's really cool, this matte black Maxfield tape. Ooh. Okay, so maybe you already knew from the title of this video, but this is from A.Presse. And it's these, I'll put the name up on the screen right around now, but it's a pair of A.Presse pants. I believe they're the M-47 pants inspired by the, I think, French military. So wow, they really have a vintage feeling, and they sold out very quickly, unsurprisingly. So I'm really excited to try these on. These are in their biggest size, and so hopefully I'm not worried about them fitting me too big. I'm hoping they'll fit me. It looks like they will. Some very nice details. A pocket with a button, so whatever you put in there is going to be very secure. I believe this is a herringbone pattern almost seems like it's been like distressed. It's very, but like in a very natural way, so I don't know how they achieve that. That's really cool. Another very neat thing about these are these, oh, that's nice, are these cargo pockets. They have them on both sides, which that's why I chose this piece. I think brown is trending or something like that, but I've always gravitated towards these earthy colors. So for me, I don't care if it's trending or not. You know, in 2026 or 2036, I'll still like this color because I've liked it for as long as I could remember. I also remember having a pair of cargo shorts as a kid that I wish that I still had just for memory keeping, but yeah, they've been long gone. And for some reason, when I saw these, they just reminded me of that. I think at the time, and maybe still now, like cargo shorts and now cargo pants are very, you know, maybe geeky or nerdy, or you know, some people, or that's what I think anyway. And I'm just going off the cuff here, by the way, so that's why my thoughts might be a little scattered. But yeah, I think I wanted to just embrace that, and I wanted something different. So these, you know, if you see me down the street, they're just a pair of brown pants and you might think nothing of them, and for me that's even better. So it's just something that I'll appreciate, and I know what I'm wearing, and that's what really matters at the end of the day. I suppose if you're really into the brand and you are super familiar, you might, you know, recognize them, and that's okay as well, but I'm not doing it for those reasons. Oh, the other detail that stood out to me, or I think that's what makes them these the M47, is the bottom has this like very cool, I mean they're backwards the way I'm holding them, but very cool detail. It's like, hopefully you can see that on screen, but you can unbutton it and then button it here, and I think that'll make it like tighter around the ankle. So we'll see how the length fits me. I usually like to cuff my pants, but if I were to cuff these, it might be hiding that part, which I suppose is fine, but we'll see. But I really think it's really cool. I've never seen pants like these before, and so that'll make them special in my eyes anyway. But thank you for coming to this quick unboxing. Again, I just received them today, and I just wanted to make this quick video before I wore them, just to get my live reaction. And if you have any questions at all, I really am happy to help. I know this is quite an investment, and so happy to report back or answer any questions that you might have. So next up for my top, we have a Camisole from TSS. That's probably wrong pronunciation. It's like spelled capital T, capital S, parentheses S, closing parentheses. And it's my first garment from the brand. Shout out to the boutique No Man Walks Alone for putting these on my radar. So hopefully you can see it on screen. The moment I saw it in their email announcing that they had some new pieces from them, I was sold. I'm a sucker for texture, and this practically jumped off the page or the screen. It's made from a loosely woven cotton in a navy and white stripe, and the fabric has a slightly irregular, airy quality that immediately caught my attention. I'll be honest, when I first bought it, I wasn't entirely sure what a camisole was. I didn't even realize the garment was a camisole, is a better way to put it, until I was inputting the details into the app that I mentioned earlier to catalog it. And if I'm being truthful, I still don't know that I could give you a textbook definition of a camisole. What I did know then and know now is that how I wanted it to feel. So it struck me as one of those pieces that you can throw on almost over anything. So relaxed, easy, the kind of garment that immediately makes me feel like I'm on vacation, even though I'm just roaming around Boston. It's made in Japan, You probably noticed that trend in the pieces that I gravitate towards. From 100% cotton, and features a stand collar and a button placket. But what ultimately sold me wasn't the specifications, although I love to geek out about those as well. It was the mood. It felt like a piece I'd enjoy wearing in my day-to-day life, and sometimes I think that's enough. Finally, we have an accessory. Last time it was a hat. This time it's a beanie. And I just realized I got the wrong beanie, so I will be right back. I'm back. I actually bought this one back in November, on November 26th from Mohawk General Store, and despite owning it for a few months, I never wore it. As you can see, I still have the tag attached, and it was partly because I wanted to make this video first, and as you can probably tell, I have something of a backlog, and partly because I already had another I already had other beanies in my rotation. And I think the bigger reason though was the color. When I bought it, I was trying to push myself a little. My wardrobe is built around a lot of blue denim and earthy tones. I thought accessories could be a good place to introduce color without feeling like I was completely changing how I dress. So I landed on this green Fair Isle beanie. At the time, it felt outside of my comfort zone a bit. Looking at it now, I actually think it fits surprisingly, or that it feels surprisingly compatible with the rest of my wardrobe. The green, I think, sits neatly alongside browns, tans, creams, and indigo. It's the, for reference, the Moritz, M-O-R-I-T-Z hat, named apparently after the Hotel St. Moritz overlooking Central Park. It's knit from soft merino wool, features a banded Fair Isle pattern, and is made from 100% wool. I'm looking forward to finally giving it some wear this coming fall and winter. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you have any question whatsoever about any of these pieces, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I can guarantee you I will get back to you with my thoughts. And as always, please do not forget to unsubscribe and dislike. But seriously, thanks for being here. Nos vemos.